Everybody, Chester here, Mr. Star Maker, and right here I am with Miss Pris, the $1,000,000 dog. Boy, she's got a pretty little dress on tonight, and you got a blue bow on there tonight, haven't you, Miss Pris? She wanted to see the people. It's getting a little cool here, and she felt mighty frisky tonight. Now you can see how fast she moves. Hey again, folks, my name is Chester, and I am going to do something great for you tonight. I'm going to explain the difference between a country person and a redneck, and I'm going to equate the difference between a broke person and a wealthy person. You know, they kind of all tie together. You know, I heard one, I forgot who it was, but someone said that the meaning of a redneck was somebody with lack of sophistication, the lack of. But I believe I'll take it a step further. You know, all the rednecks jokes, you've heard them. You know, you would say, this guy's a redneck if he has rust out of his car, on the corner of his car, or, you know. Point is this, all the rednecks jokes are centered to broke people. You are a redneck and if you think of everyone, even Jeff Foxworthy, all the ones he said, you would equate a redneck with a poor person. And you know what? I'm agreeing with him. I believe they're right. And you know why they're right? They all have the same habits. Now, for an example, you know, all of you out there probably know or have heard of a guy named Jerry Clower. You know, he's the guy that tells a story and goes, ha! You probably know of him. Well, you know what? He's probably not a redneck. He's a country person. You see the difference? His habits are totally different. Now, Jeff Foxworthy, he was an ex-IBMer from what I understand. I don't even know what I would call him, country or not. But what he done, he plays on the people that are poor and broke because they relate to it. Now, I done a test one time. I went to a barbecue and there was a pile of rednecks there. And I just went in there and just started telling stories and jokes about what was standing in front of me. You know, the guy was standing there and he had a t-shirt on and he had deers on. I said, you know, you might be a redneck if your whole wardrobe has got deers all over it. Or you might be a redneck if you wear an orange cap with camouflage clothes on. There was another guy standing and the whole crowd was laughing. See, they really didn't understand. My point is this. The difference between a redneck and the difference between a country person is a thought pattern that they all have. The difference between a wealthy person, the difference, a lot of you's out there on the internet and I'm saying, I want to be in that 2%. I'm going to be a 2%er. I don't want to be down there with 98% of the people's not making any money. You know what? The difference between the 2% and the 98% is not all technique. See, we can show anybody how to go on the internet and be a 2%er. But you know what? I have never spoke to a person for it. I'll give you a good example. And I talk to a person and they tell me they don't have time for something, right away I already know they're broke. Because you know what? I have never spoke with a person that was wealthy that told me he didn't have time. But a broke person will tell you they got no time. You know what? We all got 168 hours in a day, and it's what you do with those 168 hours determines whether you're going to be poor, whether you're going to make excuses, or whether you're going to make money. I've never run into a poor person that talk on the phone. 60% of their time there's got so much business to do, and the wealthy person don't seem to be that way. You know, so when I speak with somebody, they say, well, we just don't have time. Right away, I know I'm not speaking to anybody that's got any more or any less time than I do. I'm speaking to somebody that hadn't learned the principles between rich and poor. There is a difference in the thought pattern. And you know, if you've been all your life saying, well, I don't have time for this or that, examine your life. Donald Trump has got the same seconds in a day that you got. He's got 168 hours in a week. And you know what? He was bankrupt. But what he had a thought pattern. And in 90 days, he went from beyond bankruptcy back up to back into black again. Now, what was the difference between him and you? The difference is he done different things. He said he done whatever it takes. So you know what, folks? I'm sitting here with an opportunity that anybody in the world can do if they've got intestinal fortitude. You see, I didn't even say guts. That's a Greek word. I didn't even say that. If you got intestinal fortitude and you've got the want to, that's worse than the can't help it. If you've got a desire in your heart tonight, folks. You see, I'm not looking for somebody that wants something for nothing. Because see, when somebody gets something for nothing, and then somebody else gets nothing for something. I'm not looking there. I'm looking at that little couple out there. That man or that woman or that couple sitting there and say, look, all we need to do is have somebody just care enough about us to tell us what to do. We don't want to do it for you. We'll do it ourselves. We just don't know what to do. Joanne and I have been in marketing for over 30 years, and we've got a step-by-step program that will work for you. I don't care if you've never made any money on the internet. I don't care if you've never made any money, period. If you do what this program says to do in our system, number one, it'll work for you. Number two, your whole manner of thinking. You see, if you've never succeeded in life, you don't have anything to base upon how you would even feel. Let me tell you something. If you took all the money in the world tonight and took it away, and you know, the 2% of the people in the world has got the money, the 98%'s out there bumping around. Now, who do you think would have that money back in 90 days? The 2% would have it right back, even if you divided it out to everybody. Because number one, they know how they done it. Number two, they're not lazy. Look, if you want something for nothing, you just was to cut me off right now. If you want me to do it for you, just was to cut it off right now. But if you're the person that's sitting out there and say, just show me what to do, show me how in 90 days I can change my life, and I'm willing to do whatever it takes, there's a button right down there. You know what, if you're that type of person, I probably don't even have to tell you would find the button. But there's a button there that says, watch it now, it could be get started now. Whatever the button says, hit that button, and here's what I promise you. I can't promise success because I don't know when you're going to come up and say I ain't got time or not. But what I can do is this. I'll show you step by step of what if you'll do every day of your life for the next 90 days. Look, folks, I'm not talking about going to college and becoming a doctor, going through medical school and all the things you got to do to become a doctor. What if a doctor would get started in about 30 days? So, you know, I'm kind of tired of this. You know what? He wouldn't become a doctor, would he? 90 days of your life. Anybody in America can do that if they've got guts and if they want to do and live the lifestyle. I know, look, I've sat out there right where you've sat, and I've seen people succeed in things that didn't even make any sense. And I would go out there and I just did not know how to do it. Over the years, I learned how to do it. I learned how to market. But you know what? That took me a lot of time. It took Joanne back there a lot of time. We have put together a program where you don't have to go through everything we went through. All you got to do is step by step for 90 days. Look, folks, what's 90 days of your life? What is it? 90 days is nothing. I could do that standing on my head. Look, there's a button down there if you're serious about changing your life. And this will change your life in 90 days if you understand what I understand. If you don't, it won't. Hit that button right down there, and I'll promise you this. I'll walk beside you. I won't tell you what to do. I'll tell you what I'm doing, and you just do what I do, if that's what you choose. And hey, hit the button. Get involved. It's $25. That's more than a meal. The information you'll get is worth thousands of dollars. At the end of 30 days, if you say, that guy don't know what he's talking about, hit the button and quit. Go back and just keep picking and grinning and doing whatever you're doing. But you know what? I know some of you guys out there. I know there's people out there right now that felt like I felt. You hit that button, and I'm telling you what, you'll be somewhere in the future. And the future looks better for you than it does right now. And I'll see you guys at the beach.